I loves me some 1 degree of chunky pea.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great honor. What a great time to be alive. What a day to push your rock up the hill. I am one lucky man, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But first of all, say hello to Gary Adler, the executive producer of Love in the Garage of Love.
What a pleasure it is to be here on our last episode, our last show of 2016.
But we didn't decorate. We didn't, we're busy.
Yeah, we're busy people.
Andy Davey back in the seat of directorialness.
Thank you. Good to be back. Yeah, he said good to be back.
It is. Yeah, he did say that. I just want to start because I'm so anxious to get started. Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me I had a spot on my suit, dude?
I rarely see you in a suit, so.
Andy, can you see that spot?
No, you're good.
No,
okay.
Yeah.
That's how anxious I am to have this show go so smooth. Let's talk about good people. Let's talk about sponsors. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Venice Duck. If you want to get your beer on, you're in the mood to consume some beer libation, you go to Venice Duck, get your quack on.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
get a six-pack, get yourself a flock.
Saw John Henry this week. He's a huge Cowboys fan. Oh, I don't want to tease.
No teasing.
But he brought us some beer.
And I want to tell you something. What a great moment in just beer history when you come home, even though I don't drink anymore, but when you come home and there is 20 beers of Venice Duck on your porch dropped by the sponsors.
That's right. That's
Thank
why
you
we
guys.
keep talking about them.
And you guys, we joke, we kid, but do we love?
We love.
Ask to Glow. Ask to Glow. Don't you even start, my man. Don't even start. This is a moisturizer, and it's good for the body.
It's usually what Glow is, right?
So, Ask to Glow. Before the sun, during the sun, after the sun, and this is actually a liquid that actually helps.
And
from
I
within.
use the Ask to Sport, and maybe our guest could get a spritz of that later.
You know something? Let's make sure our guest has a little going away package from
the
sponsors. And so happy to get this new sponsor in. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at what's happening in the world of healing. Your injury, you got a muscle tear, you've got a concussion, you've got a backache, muscle ache. What's happening is light therapy. It's simple, it's great. 20 minutes a session.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know, and 88, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to learn more about this. This will get you to where you want to go. And I want to say, for the vets coming back from overseas in war, concussions, depression, arthritis, whatever it takes, check this out. And it's from the good people of Inlight Wellness, okay? And call Emily. Look them up. They're great people. They're a brand new sponsor. And I want to let you know, they came, they had a show here.
Yeah, I'm sorry I
and
missed
they
it.
educated me. Okay, enough about that.
Right?
Everyone breathe. Look at me, people. Come on in to the Garage of Love, because what you're about to experience is a ride of pure smoothness. It's a strip of freeway that you pay to get on. It's like a toll road of enthusiasm, passion, integrity, character, values, and friendship. Give it up for Michael Irvin!
Number 88, people. Number 88.
That's great, man. You been doing your thing over there, man. You been loving on that microphone, huh? That's all right. That's all right, man.
Chunky
You're behind the camera, in front of it. You're great at it all. That's good, man.
88,
That's good.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.
I am so happy, and you're doing this show a solid. Our fans, our listeners, our watchers, to come into the Garage of Love and just drop in and just break it down on a very busy time of year. How's your world? Break it down.
Well, yeah, my world's pretty busy now. I literally probably fly 6 days a week. Let me give you my schedule.
Yeah.
Usually I'm leaving Dallas, going to wherever the game is on Thursday, Wednesday. I go there Wednesday. I do the game Thursday. I get back on a flight Friday. I either go to Florida or Dallas Friday. Then get back on a flight Saturday to come to L.A. to meet. And then I do the show Sunday, get back on a flight Sunday, go to Dallas or Florida, then get back on a flight Monday, go to New York, and do Inside the NFL Tuesday, then get back on a flight Tuesday night to come back to Dallas or Miami, because that's where my homes are, and then start it all back over Wednesday, every week. So I came in, when you asked, I said, okay, I'll work it out, and I said, I'm in Seattle. I was in Seattle last night during the game.
Yep.
So instead of going all the way back home and you know, my wife wanted me to come home. I said, babe, I got to do a show in L.A.
Yes!
So I'm going to just stay over in L.A. I'll stop and stay over and see my boy Chucky B right here and do the show.
Can you first of all, can you believe it? First of all, his schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
It's we're getting knocking on the door of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys are having the year that they have been longing
For a
for.
long time.
Since you played.
Right.
And
right,
the
right.
playmaker comes
Since
into
I
the garage.
played.
That's right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, what an incredible guy to come in the busy
A garage.
of love.
Yeah.
You got to put the love in.
Yeah.
Hey,
But now listen, man. What we do, we have family over at what we do at the NFL Network, and of course you're part of that family, man. And we have a great time every day. We spend a lot of time together, and it's so fun when we walk in. It's hard work now because we're there 3-4 in the morning.
Yes.
You know what I mean? These are the times, my old days, what do you mean getting up for work? I'll usually just be coming in from work, if you know what I mean. From doing all my work, I'm like, wow, boy, things have changed. You know what I'm saying?
Like a responsible human now.
Right. I couldn't believe it. And I remember when I was wilding out there in those days, and I'm coming home 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and I see other people going to work, and I would say, wow. I wonder what that feels like to be going to work this early. I'm just coming in from partying all night.
yeah.
Now I'm that guy that's going to work that early.
Yep,
You think people pass by me and be like, man, what does that dude going to work so early for? I'm just coming in right now. How the shoe flips.
Yep, no doubt about it.
You have homes in Dallas and Miami?
Yeah, I'm from Miami.
Uh-huh.
From Miami, so I still have a home. My home's in Miami. I still have the home I grew up in, you know, and then I have the home I built for my mother. You know, but in the home I grew up in, because I got 16 brothers and sisters.
I read about
Okay,
that.
is that crazy?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You were
16.
15 out of 17.
15th out of 17 now, and we've all, you know, growing up in the ghetto.
Your dad, they were busy, huh?
Yeah, they were busy. We couldn't afford really a TV back then, I guess, and we all grew up in this little house, man. You know, my mom and dad had a room. And all the boys in one room, all the girls in one room, and we were sleeping all over the place. So, you know, we were sleeping everywhere. But I still own that house that we grew up in. And because my brothers and sisters, so many of them, and they're not all doing well, but they still continue to have babies. And we have situations, I have to sometimes get those babies, and I put them in that house, and I have my sister living in the house that we all grew up in. She takes care of the kids in that house, my nieces and nephews that my sisters and brothers can't take care of. I pay for everything, of course. Yeah. So you know, just to give them a chance. So I go there to make sure they have Christmas and stuff, and then I got to go to Dallas because that's where my primary family is, my wife and my kids. So yeah, I get around both places.
Let me ask you this, 88.
Hang on, I'm a little.
You're gonna bust
It's
that
hot
down?
in here, dude.
Oh, don't. Yeah. Oh no, you're not.
It's a little hot in here. I got.
Hold on, Vail.
Sorry, man. I was getting a little hot.
Oh man, my son's there now. You know, he goes to school at the University
is that
of Miami.
right?
Yeah, my son plays at the University
I grew
of
up in Miami myself. I grew up in South Miami.
Yeah.
Yep. And
How'd
I
you
went to
get
school at
Florida State?
FSU.
Oh, you went to Florida State from South Miami. You can't leave South Miami.
I couldn't afford a UM, and I didn't have an athletic scholarship. Thank you.
Go to Tallahassee. Go to Tallahassee. That was our Tallahassee's a great.
How much do you love Shorty's ribs?
What's that?
Shorty's.
In Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Miami's the best, man. I love Miami. I love it. Now, it's great. I'd rather raise my family in Dallas. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Miami's a great place, and it's a tough place though. But I love it. I love it.
Let me ask you. We were talking about all your brothers and sisters, and I don't want to drop into some like serious mode, but I've seen some stuff you've talked about. Are they? Did they ever get resentful at you? Did they get mad? Is there any jealousy within the family?
Well, jealousy, mad how? I was the stock, you know, that came too. that matured and everything. So you know, we have they're family things, but you know, for all in all, even I'm the 15th, I'm basically still become like the matriarch of the family. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody turns to me for all patriarch of the family turns to me for everything to get done and everything. So I understand that, and it is what it is. Now I'll tell you what was tough. When my mother took ill, you know, I lost my mother last year to dementia, Alzheimer's and everything, and now that was hard because out of all of it, and it was just hard out of love. You know, I had one sister. I had my mom in my mother's house, and my mother was getting demented to the place where the house that I built for her and bought for her, she thought that was the house she used to clean all her days, her days of working. Man. So she was like, I got to get out of this house. I got to get out of this house. So we had to take her back to the old house that we grew up in, which was fine. And my sister that stays there to take care of all of the kids that I have there for my nieces and nephews. Well, the rest of my family like, well, Mom could come over here. Mom should come over there. But my sister Patricia is a caretaker. That's what she does for all the kids. You know, this is her world. And I was like, I think it'll be best because Mom wants to be here. Mom doesn't want to be at your house.
Gotcha.
She doesn't want to be at her own house. She wants to be at the house, and that's the only place she knew. So we would get battles. Like I would say, Pat, why don't you let Janet take her? I know you may get tired. I'm not getting tired. I'm not tired. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't love her, but you get tired, you know. So we had those kinds of battles. But all in all, it worked out. You know, we worked it out. We made the right decisions, and she's gone on to her glory.
Yeah. Were you outstanding at everything you did as a kid? Like, were you just like above?
No, man, I was the problem child.
Get out of here.
Come on, man. And because my mom always said this. She said, baby, you know, when she got pregnant with me, she said, I was just like, man, I don't know. I can't have another kid. You know, I'm the 15th. We have nothing. We have nothing. We had nothing growing up. I always tell people, I said, we were so poor growing up. And I said, I'm a professional speaker. I know the word is poor, but we were so poor we couldn't afford the other O and the R. We just said po. You know what I mean? We po. We would just po growing up, you know. So it was. And then when she got pregnant with me at the 15th kid, she was like, oh, no. She said she was crying in church, crying. Because my father was a pastor. And, you know, my mom, they went to church all the time. And she was crying in church. She said God wrapped his arms around her and said, fret not, this shall be the child to make your latter days greater than your former days.
Wow,
and she always said that to me. Growing up, all the time, she always said that to me. And it was when we would travel to Pro Bowls and Super Bowls, because I was, you know, going to Pro Bowls and Super Bowls, you know. She said to me, baby, God told me my latter days would be better than about 4, and they were, you know. So we had some great times before God took us to eternity.
So, Chunk, maybe you and I should pop out another 14, 15, get ourselves an NFL player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, if it takes 15 to get that.
She went through something, but God got her.
But I will tell you one thing, 88. You broke that down clearly and from the heart at your Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know?
That was good.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And that was a moment of just sharing. You know, just sharing. You know what was great about it? You know, I went up thinking one thing and then just said, let's just speak and be real about where you've been, the things you've gone through, and really the areas I've fallen short in. And how I've prayed to God to help me make sure I cover the areas I've fallen short in and not pass them on to my sons. The Bible calls those generational curses. So I'm trying to pass on generational blessings, which is a different thing. But I thank you for saying that.
Well, check this out. A voice came over me, and he said, look up, get up, and don't ever give up. If anybody or anyone has ever doubted, I'm just paraphrasing has ever doubted or said you don't measure up,
or wanted to quit,
or you wanted to quit,
you tell them
to look up, get up, and don't ever give up.
Yeah,
Thank you, and God bless you.
Yeah, it was.
Now, was Mom's there?
Yes.
Yes,
that's awesome.
She was in shock. She was just like sitting.
And let me tell you what was funny too, because you know my guy Rich Dalrymple, he's the head sports guy information guy with the Dallas Cowboys, and he came into the University of Miami with me first. We came in the same day at the University of Miami. It was his first day, and we won championships there. And then we came to Dallas, and we won Super Bowls there. And he's one of my best friends, right? He's my best friend. He's Jerry Jones's right-hand man. Jerry won't put his shoes on without calling Rich. He won't do anything. He's Jerry's right-hand man. So he's always said to me, you know, when I was in school, He says, I would tell him, go get me some pub. You got to work, get me some pub. Now, then he followed me in Dallas, and he said, I own you. I own you. He's my best friend. And you mentioned him in the speech. Remember, because Rich, when I go to his office, we have this picture of Rich and I, and Rich is young. We're at the University of Miami with my wife and his wife that we all met at the University of Miami. We've been married the whole while. And he says, look at that picture. Look at all that beautiful black hair I got. And then we have a picture of us in Dallas after we won all the Super Bowls. He said, now look at that picture. Look at all the gray hairs I got. He said, you see that picture to that picture? All that black hair and all that gray hair? You gave me all that gray hair with all of the mess that we've had to go through over the years. And I paused and I said, yeah, Rich, I may have given you those gray hairs, but you see all them rings you got?
Yeah.
I gave you those.
You got some jewelry.
Nice.
You got a whole bunch of rings, college and Super Bowl rings, but I love them too.
Well, when you came out of '87 with a championship,
Yes.
then you went to Dallas, first round, 11th.
88 draft, first round.
Was it discouraging, or were you psyched to be in the NFL because you had a couple bad lean years?
Man, I was so crushed, man, when I first got in the league. Let me tell you now, because I went for St. Thomas High School. We're undefeated. We won a lot of games at St. Thomas. Then I came to the University of Miami. May have lost 2 games, 3 games in my 3-year career there. Man. I played 3 years. I graduated in 1988.
Oh, you did?
As my junior eligibility.
Okay.
This was my way of controlling the draft. Here I am, the poorest dude in the world, the brokest dude in the world. But what I learned from Bernie Kosar was, if you graduate early, and I graduated after my junior year of eligibility, and I enter the draft, and a team wants to draft me that I didn't want to play for, I can tell them, no, don't draft me, because if you do, I can drop a class, go back to school, and they would lose the draft choice and apply for a supplemental draft and be redrafted. So when come draft day, the 7th pick, Green Bay Packers had the 7th pick, and they called me on the phone, because you can't just draft me. You got to call me since I'm a junior, graduated. I still had another year, but I left school early. So they were like, Michael, we want to draft you. And I was like, it's too cold in Green Bay. And so my whole family started hollering, no way, Green Bay, no way. So they drafted Sterling Sharp, and then Dallas drafted me with the 11th pick, but I wanted to come to Dallas. It was my father's favorite.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
Speaking of cold, Dallas and Green Bay are about to play one of the coldest games in NFL history this weekend, right?
Chicago and Dallas. Chicago
and Green Bay, right?
No, we're both slipping them.
Oh man, yeah, sorry, man.
At first, when I
partied in Miami too.
And so, right, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, thank you, Father, thank you, Father. Thank you for not letting there be a Thursday night football game where I have to sit outside and do a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be
still make you
cold.
do that?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you got to do it. You still sit outside, but that's going to be free. That's minus.
You know what? This is obnoxious, Chunk. I'm gonna take.
Are you taking it off? No.
Yeah, it's obnoxious, dude.
Oh, sweet. He's up to
coming.
Jesus.
You're a trip, man.
Really? You can hit him. You can hit him.
I got it.
Here we go. That's better.
Oh, that is
14 conference titles.
You know what's crazy? One of Jack's friends was wearing a Philadelphia.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody wants to make sure that there's a demarcation on who they are with when I come around. That's all cool.
And I have never wore a tie. Maybe once.
Yeah.
I put a tie on because you were coming to the house.
Well, it was him that knocked us out of the national championship in '87 with a 73-yard touchdown. Thank you very much, Michael. In Doak Campbell Stadium. And then Bobby Bowden went for 2 points. Remember that?
And Bubba McDowell from Pat Carter knocked that ball away.
That's right. That was it.
Up and got it. That was it, man. That was a great game. You guys, they won 19-3. Tell a story like a TIST is.
That's right.
They won 19-3 the whole game, man. And Dion was playing all this.
He ran one back that game.
And they were like, man. And Dion, I had heard Dion had at the pep rally stood up and said, Michael Irvin won't be making any plays. Okay. We had all heard this. And we get in the game. They were up 19-3. I bet there must have been 25, 30 NFL players in that game.
There were 59 NFL players on those 2 rosters.
59.
Yeah. Are you serious?
I was guessing.
I did my research.
Right, you did. It was incredible, man. What a great game that was. And I scored a 35-yarder first and then came back at the end of the game with 73 yards. That's one of my favorite pictures as I go across the side goal line and you can see the people with the Florida State cheerleaders like
one of them was me, probably.
You're like, oh my God, no way they just hit this.
But you got to give it to Bobby. He went for the win, and your Jimmy Johnson went for the win the next year against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Right?
They cheated. They cheated.
Let's hear about that.
That was cheating.
Was that where he didn't get the
fumble?
Yes.
They were talking about Cleveland Gary fumbled after he had crossed the goal line.
That's right.
That was a touchdown.
That was a touchdown.
And even that 30 for 30 they have out now, they're talking about Catholics versus convicts.
Yeah.
I don't even, because it focuses on that game.
That's right.
That game in Notre Dame. When they came out for that 30 for 30 Catholics versus convicts, that was the game prior to that in Miami where we played, where it was, I think, Faust's last game.
Smoked.
And we put, 58 or something on them, man. I remember coming to the sideline, and Jimmy looked up, and we were like 40 points. Jimmy said, go deep. If they're calling us a convict, let's show them how convicts treat you. Go deep. And, years later, I kind of had that line in the longest yard. When we were playing in the longest yard, right? I came back and it was like, should we go for it all? I said, hell, we're convicts. We're supposed to go for it. I felt like Jimmy. I was like, that was Jimmy's line back in 87. I just used it. Hey, I'm Michael, the playmaker Irvin, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've won an Emmy in broadcasting. And you're tuned in to 1 Degree of Chunky B.
Let us peek in to the world that was you at the junior year, top of your collegiate career. What was it like on campus? Was it just fish in a barrel?
Man,
tag and release, bro. Tag and release.
Were you just like, you Tuesday, you Wednesday? Did you walk around? This is 88 walking around campus. Ditter, neater, ditter.
That's number 47, right?
It was fun. Let's just call it that. It was the greatest time, man. But I mean, I'll tell you this. There's no doubt I did some tagging and releasing, But my brother gave me some advice that I thought was fascinating, and I just shared it with my son too, which I thought was fascinating. How great you pass it on. When he dropped me off at school in Miami, he said, Michael, my oldest brother Willie, he said, let me tell you, man, and he's a principal in Fort Lauderdale. He said, you can go in here, man, and you can chase women and mess around for the next 4 years and spend the rest of your life chasing women and messing around. He said, or you can go in here for 4 years and do what you need to do. Get your work on the football field, work hard, and in 4 years, women will chase you for the rest of your life. I was like, you know what? You got some good advice there. Man. That was great advice. Go take care of the business, and the business will find you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you know, real quick?
Yeah, no.
During the Notre Dame game, the Notre Dame locker room, they have win one for the Gipper in the locker room. You know the sign that was in their locker room? Win one for the stripper, bro.
That is really?
Yes.
But it's funny, though, because we used to come up with sayings like that. When we were winning Super Bowls in Dallas, we would come up with saying, all kind of stuff like that. Limos, O's, and Papados. You know what I mean? Little crazy stuff.
Is it too much for a kid that age?
That's a good question.
Is it just was it overwhelming?
Well, you know what? In this thing, it grows. Like, I've been basically on the scene since 85. That's when we started in college. And, in high school level is one thing, but you hit the college level, you're on a national level. So I think about, man, I've been on the scene since 85, winning national titles and then Super Bowls and doing broadcasting now, But it kind of grows as you go. It's a lot. It's a lot for a kid to keep straight and make sure he's doing the right thing. But in college, they man you down pretty good. Like my son now talks about, Dad, I don't have any time. We go from here to here to here to here to here. I said, good son, that's what it is. You got responsibility.
Is he playing ball?
In these coaches now, their job and their ability to take care of their family is predicated on making sure you don't do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and people are talking about they've lost institutional control. So they want to make sure you got to be at breakfast in the morning. Then they want to have people checking on your classes. You got practice in the afternoon. You got study hall in the evenings. You got a schedule.
And you guys were up on the up and up? You played along with that?
No, it was different back then, dude.
No, we did. No, Jimmy was serious, man.
Really?
Jimmy, God, Jimmy Johnson was a trip. Jimmy, man, we practiced so hard. Jimmy would tell people, man, we were out there practicing, and we would have bad practice. Jimmy said, everybody come up. He said, what the hell is going on around here? He said, but if we don't get to practicing better and playing better football, all of this is going to change. You guys must think y'all got 4-year scholarships. Y'all better check the fine print. It says 1 year renewable, and I will not bring your asses back. What? You talking about some practices? Every boy, I'm sorry, coach. I won't, because we were all poor kids.
Yeah.
If we go back home, that's a wrap. We were talking about that on Inside the NFL the other day. Brandon Marshall and Boomer Esiason. And James Brown asked, he said, Brandon, what would you be doing if it wasn't for football? Brandon said, I would be working with the mental health community, because that's what I do now, and he does a great job with that. And Boomer Esiason said, I would be working with cystic fibrosis, because his son, Hunter, has some issues, and he does a great job with that, and they all do a great job. He looked at me and they said, what would you be doing? I would be dead or in prison. Let's just tell the truth. Hallelujah, and thank God for football. I would be dead or in prison. Coming from that ghetto I grew up in, people don't make it out of there. And football.
Where did you live in Miami? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, over by Dillard High School, 27th Avenue, which was a rat hole.
Yeah,
it was a rat hole, man. I used to run as a kid. I used to run by there every day. I mean, I ran so much. I would put on a weight vest. I would run. And my mom would say, son, I said, baby, I'm going to run you out of here. I'm going to run us out of here. And I did. But I ran every day. Would run by all the dope houses and all the police arresting and what they call were the raiders at the time, breaking in doors and breaking into dope houses and everything. And it was just, I couldn't take it. I wanted out of there, man. And I ran, and I did get us out of there.
When did you find yourself separating from the herd?
Were you great at Pop Warner?
Yeah, we were. Not my first year. Not my first year. First year, I barely got off the bench. I played tight end. I started at tight end and offensive tackle. I used to play offensive tackle and played tight end, defensive end. So first you didn't get off the bench. And then the second, and then that's when I first started saying, I got to run more. Because I was the slowest kid in the neighborhood. The slowest kid in the neighborhood. Every time they would put me up against the girl.
It's so hard to believe, right?
I was the slowest kid in the neighborhood. The girl beat me all the time. Man. You're the last person to get picked and everything.
It's all right, Michael.
Right. Come on, Michael. Come on. Let's think about it. I said, oh, God. But that's what put the hunger in me. That's what I with my son.
I think it was the 15 other siblings might have put the hunger in you, bro.
That helps too. But even with my son, I asked him, I said, what do you want to do? And he said, I want to try to play in the league. I said, well, pack your bags. You got to get out of here. You can't live in this big old house and match the hunger of them kids you're playing against.
Yes.
So I had to send him to live with my nephew in Florida and go to St. Thomas. And it's just, it just changed everything for him. Because in order to play in the league, you got to match the hunger of the kid across from you.
Yeah.
And you have to do things to make sure that hunger grows. So Michael, once he left, he never came back home. He's never come back home, and he's on a whole different mission. So it worked out pretty well.
That's cool. So check this out. About a year ago, I gave my son what I think is like a motivational speech. I'm like, dude, you don't know what it's like to be hungry. I mean, even though this house, but he's hanging out with the rich kids up in Pali, right? They got big, huge homes, and they're just being spoon fed. I'm like, you gotta like feel like someone's fucking with your mom. You gotta just prepare yourself to be hungry. The next day, we're watching a documentary, and there's a guy going, you don't know what it's like. I stole the whole speech from a documentary, and my son's flipping through the channels like, fuck you, Dad. That's so much.
That is funny, man. That's funny right there. But what you're doing, that's what it is. When you're raising boys, man, this thing is no joke too now. You know, you got to try to get as much as you can and get in them as much as you can because they're creating your image and likeness, as the Bible says, in your image and your likeness. And I tell my son, dude, I know you. I know you. I know me. Yeah. I know you. Don't try anything with me. You're just a little me. I know you.
Yeah. Is he little? Is he big like you or little?
Oh, no, Michael's bigger than me.
He is.
Elijah's about 6'1". Michael's 6'4", about 250. Yeah, 245. He plays tight end at the University of Miami.
Wow.
Fantastic,
is he going to make it to the league?
Michael's gifted. He's a very gifted and talented player. You know, making it to the league is a tough thing. And I say, hey, you got all the tools to make it. It's will you put in the work to make it. Now, he's a hard worker, but will you put in all the extra work, and will you stay there and continue to train? Like my mom said, once I went off to college, I never came home. I didn't come home. Yeah. You know, that was where I was. I was trying to go somewhere. I stayed and went to summer school every summer, took full courses because I wanted to graduate early with my business degree, which I did. So, you know, now he's trying to do the same thing.
That's awesome.
But your reputation is like the first one there, last one to leave. I mean, you worked out, and you know, the gym was empty or the field was empty.
And that's what it takes. And that's what it takes. And listen, man, it's like as I was telling you guys, I wasn't the most physically gifted. I'm not the fastest or anything, but you're not going to outwork me. You're not going to outwork me. And the football gods make it right if you put the work in. Working guards, anybody that put in the work, you really sincerely put in the work, you outwork everybody, you'll get your reward.
That's awesome.
Now, do you ever sit back? I know that you said if you didn't play football, you'd be dead. But, I mean, do you ever think back, like, I can't believe I'm alive? Because didn't you burn the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
I mean,
I had some fun. And let me tell you, when I speak now, I tell people always, be ye careful. Don't have great growth in your profession without great maturity in your person. Yeah. You know, because you can get in a situation and make some bad decisions. But yeah, you know, I had fun. I really did. And I had fun, but I was measuring my fun. The off season, I can go wild and get crazy. March, we start training in the NFL the second week in March. And my birthday happened to be March 5th, so it worked out perfectly. The big party on March 5th was the last party.
And that was it.
And then I can get back to training. And I was always able to do what I call switching addictions. I didn't know at the time that's what I was doing because I'd be partying and wilding out. March 5th, I had one big party. And have some fun. I get up on that party. It started March 5th. It might have ended March 7th.
Yeah.
But when it ended that Monday,
time to go to work.
Start training. And from that point on, I wouldn't do anything. So what I was doing was switching addictions.
Yep.
What happened when I retired, that became a problem because I didn't have another addiction to switch to. And that's where things got a little wild.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I'm sure you know this cat. I can't even call him cat because he's way more respectful than that. T.D. Jakes?
Bishop's my guy. Yeah.
Is he your man?
Yeah, it's my spiritual father. Oh, yeah. That's the guy that mentors me, you know, travel. I go to church at the Potter's house, you know. Right. I would say he knows more about me. He's the only one that knows everything.
Are you serious?
Happened in my life.
Because
every single
I got the chance to meet him a couple times, and I shot camera on his talk show. I mean his show. And I want to let you know, and I'm not even making this up. T.G. Jakes is a phenomenal man of pure wisdom and kindness. Oh my God, outdoes any other talk show. Oprah, he just. And I shot his pilot a couple years ago on Paramount. Now he's out in Glendale.
Yeah, now let me tell you something, man. When I first got saved, because we were at Dion's house having a Bible study. And this was when I was rocking and rolling. I was wilding out at the time. You know, we go to Dion's house at a Bible study. And it's a true story. And I go in the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, turn around, somebody comes down, hey. And it's Bishop Jakes. He comes, he said, I just want you to know, God calling you, son. God comes, hey, man, come on, man, what you doing in here, man? You got my thing in my hand right now, man. Hold this conversation down, man. Get out of here with that, right? Get on out of here with that. Hey, he left. And then at the promo, remember I tell you when I retired, right, I kind of lost myself there because I didn't have football again to go back to. And I lost myself, man. And I remember saying, oh, my God, I don't know, what am I going to do? I need to get back spiritually connected. And I didn't want to go to the Potter's house because Bishop had invaded my space in that bathroom. I said, God, I'm not going over there with him. But somehow I ended up over there, and he was preaching. I'll never forget the sermon he was preaching. It was Come In Out of the Rain. And he was talking about everybody thinks you have it all set up. You're looking good. You got the nice car, big house and everything, but you're falling apart, and you don't know what to do. He said, today is the day to come in out of the rain. And, man, I went and laid on that altar.
He spoke to you, man.
And cried, man. I cried. And when I got up from there, he pulled me in all back, and he said to me, he said, listen, son, he said, I knew you would be here one day. God told me that a long time ago. He said, now what I'm going to do is make sure I do what I must do. He said, I want to make sure I get God. Because when he looks at you, it's like he looks all up in you. He said, I want to make sure I get God all up in there. So I was traveling with him for the first good year, traveling with him as his armor bearer. All I would do was go around, I'm traveling with him when he's getting ready to preach. I would put his book out and take his stuff up, help him get dressed, bring his clothes, help him get dressed, everything. So he wanted to keep me close to make sure he gets enough God in me to get rid of all that other stuff that was up in me, you know. Wow. But we were traveling. And we came out to L.A. He was doing a Time Life series. And we came out here, and he was doing an interview on Steve Harvey's show. And I'll never forget, Steve Harvey radio show at the time. Mm-hmm. And when I walked in as his armor bearer, as Bishop's armor bearer, Steve Harvey, who's a great friend of mine, because he was from Dallas too, you know. Mm-hmm. Steve Harvey started in Dallas. You know, I went with Steve when he had this little shack of a little place that he called his comedy house over in South Dallas. You know, he's a funny dude.
He is funny.
He's so funny. But when we walked in with Bishop, he said, oh my God, everybody. He said, I don't care what you're doing. You got to stop right now. And I want you to know, no matter what you have done, you're okay. Because Bishop Jakes just walked in here with somebody. Michael Irvin. And if Michael Irvin can go to heaven, we all good. We all good. We all good. I was like, wow, you know. Wow. I was like, wow, was I that crazy?
Dude, I thank God for Steve Harvey every day. I work at the Game Show Network. Yeah, and he puts us on the map every day. Yeah. And without him, I wouldn't have a paycheck.
My mother-in-law, that's all she does. She watches him on that Family Feud.
They love it.
So good, man. He is so funny, and he's so great on that. You know what show I love? That Little Big Shot show.
Oh,
you
yeah.
seen the Little Big Shot show?
That's a good
hilarious.
One. Man, it's the comedy. You got the two greatest things in the world, I believe. Comedy, because we all gotta laugh. Yeah. We have to laugh, man. It renews the spirit, and that's what makes what we do so great. We laugh a lot over there having fun. And kids, there's nothing greater than those two things, I think, in this world. Laughter and kids, man. And he gets to commingle them both.
Yeah. I don't know, we never talked about this, but I started in Hollywood as a camera operator. I left, I did 15 years of comedy. I would go to work and just have a microphone, and I was a warm-up guy for Dr. Phil, Sharon Osbourne,
Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson. I did 9 years with like Marie Osmond.
Yeah.
You know, I would come in like so hungover and still with like a buzz on.
Yeah.
And I'm making television with Marie Osmond. After the show with Sharon Osbourne, I would go back in our dressing room. She and I would sip wine and chat. So I was in that comedy thing, and I did Politically Incorrect. I was warming that up. Steve Harvey was the guest, and he saw me in the parking lot at CBS. And he goes, "Hey, Chubby, what's your?" No, it's Chunky. He's like, "Yeah." And he looks me in the eye, puts his arm around my neck, and he goes, "You're almost there, boy. You're almost there. Keep working."
That's nice.
He goes, "You know, I was, you know, new to the scene. Not that new to the scene, but I was doing you know, the warm-up comedy, and it was so nice of him to just even, you know.
Good for him, man.
Encourage you, right. Encourage you, man. And little things like that go a long way, man.
That's
He's a good
what
dude.
is in your DNA.
You are
so encouraging. You are so motivating. Was your dad as a pastor like that?
Yeah, my dad was a pastor, man. And listen, man, and Man, he's a hard worker now. Sun up to sundown, my father worked as a roofer. Laying tile on roof in Florida. Sun up,
brutal.
sundown, brutal work. It was brutal work. And then Fridays when he get off, he would get in the car and he would drive all the way to Georgia, and he would pastor a church on the weekend, and then Sunday after church, drive all the way back to Florida and go right back to work. I was like, I just don't see how he does it. I don't see how he does it. But I always think about it now the work I do, playing football, broadcasting, man, my dad did real work.
Yeah, but he instilled the work ethic in you.
Right, he put it in me. He told me once as a kid, he said, son, being a man is about decisions and consequences. I said, okay, Dad, okay. And I was stuck in the 6th grade. I said, I can make a decision. He said, yeah, you can make any decision you want. I said, any? He said, that's what a man has to do. I said, well, I'm going to make a decision. I quit school. He said, that's fine, son. You quit school. I'm hanging out all night. He ain't say anything. I finally fall asleep maybe 2:30 that morning. About 6 o'clock, he's touching me. I said, oh, Dad, remember I made a decision. I quit school. He said, yeah, you made that decision. But remember I told you, decision and consequences. The consequence is you got to go to work with me.
What? Where's my books?
Man, I went out there one day. I thought that can't be that bad. I went out there one day, and I was in charge of making the mud. Right, they call it cement, the mud. And then I had to shove it out the little bucket I made and put it in buckets, and then carry the buckets and put them under the ladder, and then horse the ladder, and then put the cement on the roof. So all you didn't go and catch it. Oh man, I ain't never been so tired in my life. I got home. Oh my God, I was soaked in cement everywhere. I know I'm black as on the one, but I was totally white from cement up and down. Right, and I went and laid in the bed. Boom, went to sleep. He came, and it's just like it seemed like I just went to sleep, and it was time to get back up and say, "Son, let's go. Time to go to work." And I said, "Whoa, I made another decision. I'm going back to school.
That's a good dad,
I took those pants, and I hung them up in the dorm room at the University of Miami. You did? And I swear to you, every day I came home, I said, either I make this work or I got to go do that work. Yeah, and that's what got me through Miami.
Right on.
Right on.